The GTA 6 online world, what I meant by that is, you know how like GTA 5 and Red Dead Online have NPCs that don't interact with the player, and like the single player, there's so much meat to it, you know? Like if you hit somebody and you crash into somebody in single player, like other people will react, like, you know, there will be some dynamic shit, like the music might change, the world vibe will kind of alter, the streets will start getting closed down. And online, it's kind of like no one cares. Like there's like very little NPCs and they don't really interact with each other. I'm just kind of wondering if the world in online will be more dynamic and like natural, like the single player versions were.
That's a very good point. Like actually earlier I was playing GTA Online and I did like the treasure hunt. I think it was the treasure hunt. I can't remember what it is. I got one of the like, you know, the axe you can get, and it said that you have to kill 25 people to unlock a cash reward. And the hardest part about all of that was finding 25 NPCs.
Yeah, real dude.
Like I had to go to like 4 different locations and lose the police between each location to do it. And it was just like the population density in the GTA 6 trailer, from what we can see, if that beach scene is really what the game is going to be like, I am speechless.
Will be, yeah.
I don't understand.
Wait for something special. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to cram that in. Like, I've just got the PS5 Pro, and even now I can't wrap my head around how they'd cram that into that. Like, I don't.
Well, I'm pretty.
The math ain't mathing.
You know, I personally believe, and I actually don't have a problem with this, I don't think that GTA 6 will run at 60 frames per second on anything. On PC, like when it comes out, maybe. I think that that's what Rockstar is going to do, is they're going to cram as much shit as possible at the cost of it not being 60 frames. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I think if they make the world as good as it can be at the cost of performance, I think that's fine.
I think at the very minimum, if they do go down just to 30 frames per second, maybe in the online component at least, they might have a performance mode where you lose ray tracing, you lose all of this stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's
some people, some people don't mind that. For me personally, like playing GTA Online at the moment, I go for fidelity all the time. Like when it rains,
fidelity, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we've spoken about this before.
Well, don't you have a pro? So like you play at 60 anyway with fidelity.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, true. You could. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's true.
But what I find really weird is that it never bothered me being at 30 frames per second before anyway. I think so I've always had the stance that I don't really care about 60 frames per second. However, in the past week, that stance has changed. Once I've gone into 60
you can't really go back.
No.
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah.
Once you get those 30 extra frames, like, the thing is, it's not about playability. Like, the game runs fine either way, but it feels jarring.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, right.
It's just, it's like everything's so seamless, one thing to another. It's like when you go back to 30, it not only, it kind of gives you a headache after a while. I personally experience that. I get motion sick pretty easily. But I find that also it's just not as like dynamic, you know? It doesn't feel as smooth on the controller. Like, I don't know. I could marry like 60 frames per second if I could. Like, I'm a fan.
Of course you would, Justin. Of course you would.
I would. I'll die on that hill.
But yeah, like I feel like with GTA Online, or actually not even just GTA Online, I think for GTA 6 and its online component, I do think that they're going to have the same issue that Rockstar have always had, which is having hardware that they can't cram their game into. Like, how they got GTA 5 into a PS3 even at 720p resolution.
That's wizardry. That's insane. Yeah,
the leap between the PS3 and PS4 was huge, but the leap from the PS4 to the PS5 was not, I wouldn't say as big, but it was still really big. But the thing is if you look at GTA 5 versus GTA 6, like when they both come out, like when GTA 5 came out versus what GTA 6 will look like, that is insane jump.
Totally.
And I don't feel like consoles have made the same jump.
Yeah, I think that the PS4 to PS5 was a bigger jump. It's just harder to tell because like the resolution of the PS4 was 1080, or I guess it was 1080p before that too, but it's like the details like in the draw distance and the little things, there's a lot of like little things that take a huge hit on performance that were like upgraded with the PS5. Like ray tracing. You don't really notice ray tracing, but it does make a difference, but it's also an enormous like like jump. It's a huge technological leap, but a lot of people just can't tell.
Yeah,
Like
I think the
yeah.
only time I've ever noticed ray tracing in GTA 5 is when it rains and you get the puddle reflections.
Oh
like,
gosh,
that's the
it's like one of
only
those
time-
modded videos. It's crazy.
Yeah, like well, I had it in. I think it was either today's video or yesterday's video. I put some gameplay in a GTA Online gameplay, and everyone was asking what mods I'm using. I'm like, it's literally just GTA Online on the PS5 Pro. Like, there's
Yeah, it must make you feel good. You're like, yeah, I got the pro.
like, but the thing is, I'll always choose to do gameplay when it's raining in the game, just because it looks like all the street lights reflect off the ground. It looks more
Yeah.
impressive.
It does.
And like, there's a couple of moments playing GT Online in the past week or so where I've had to kind of go, oh wow, this is a game that came out in 2013.
Yeah, it's pretty. Well, dude, Rockstar, like their games look so
It's
good. Like
impressive.
I've been playing through Red Dead 1 and it looks amazing still.
I think with GTA 6 they're gonna, I mean, so a former Rockstar employee, Obey Vermage, he used to be their technical director. He's quite active on Twitter talking about stuff going on, and he's made a few comments recently, but one of the comments he's made is that, and it's one that I want to disagree with, but he knows more than I do, so maybe I should shut up. But
Nah,
he said that
drama.
but like he said that he doesn't believe that the leap between GTA 5 and GTA 6 is going to be as big as people are expecting. And that was like someone just vomiting on your nan's grave. Do you know what I mean? Like that was
Yeah.
that
Literally.
hurt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if we just take a step back from every single speculative leak or anything that any of us have heard or whatever, if you just look at the trailer just by itself, that is massively ahead of GTA 5 in every single
100%.
respect.
And
And
think
even-
about Red Dead
RDR
2.
Even
Yeah,
RDR 2.
yeah, yeah.
Even RDR 2,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's huge. Like every NPC in Red Dead 2 had a schedule, and you could interact with them, and shit. Like some specific ones would remember you. Like even since GTA 6 is going to be better than Red Dead 2 in pretty much every single way. Like even if it's just a little bit, that'll still in the GTA formula be in freaking sane. You know, like that'll be crazy.
Yeah, just very quickly, like I feel Red Dead Redemption 2, you can play it now, and I don't care what anyone says about like Red Dead Redemption 2. If you enjoy it, you find it slow paced, whatever. If you just take a second to go out into the middle of nowhere in Red Dead and you look around and
I've
you
done
look
that
at
so
animals,
many times. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's an
Yeah.
ecosystem. People,
And
like you said, people have
it's
jobs.
breathtaking. It's actually breathtaking.
The deer?
One time I was playing it, and I literally there was a point in time, I think I was like, I don't know, it might have been nighttime or something like that, and it was like it was in a forest area. I was like, how does this look this good? Like, I actually took my phone out and actually recorded it. Like, that's how good it was. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
I was shocked how good the lighting and everything. I don't know how they do it. It's
And
compared to
that
like it's
game-
the art direction. It's compared to other games in that.
Oh
It's
yeah. Well, it looks like a
light
painting.
Light years ahead.
It's pretty incredible.
But that's the thing. That's like Rockstar aren't going to go backwards. Like maybe there's one or two features that they just won't put in GTA 6 that were in Red Dead, because they've done that with a lot of games. They'll,
Oh, yeah.
like for example, in San Andreas you could go to the gym, but they took that away in future games. Like
Yeah.
maybe there's one or two features that they'll pull back on. But if the general art direction and the technical direction of the game is anywhere even if it's the same level as in Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 6 will be insane. If they just go
Totally.
5% above that, the weirdest thing here is that their biggest competition in the industry is themselves.
Literally.
Yeah.
Their last
That's
release.
so funny. That I was thinking of that the other week actually. That the competition is Red Dead 2. That's what they're competing against. Like their
Well,
last
and
big
it's-
title. That's insane.
It's kind of insane too, because like when Rockstar makes games, I find that like, you know, most companies, they'll put out a really good game and after a few years people will stop talking about it. Well, when I was away for this last 6 months, you know, living in that staff house, every single person I lived with pretty much had played Red Dead 2 and was talking about it and was playing through it again at the time. And it's like, it's such a relevant
There you
subject
go.
just because Rockstar makes such good games that last such a long time.
100%. And we'll be in the situation where, like, if you go back and play a game from the 90s now, like, a lot of them are okay for 5 minutes of entertainment, but overall they don't provide you endless fun. But if you go back and replay through Red Dead Redemption 2 in 30 years' time, it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
going to be a great game.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Totally.
That's
The
special.
longevity of their games is getting longer and longer, and that's why with GTA 6, if they don't get it right, it will flop to some extent in the sense that maybe people don't like the story or whatever. But if they do get it even 50% as good as Red Dead Redemption 2 from a storytelling perspective, it will absolutely shit on every single movie ever made.
Oh,
100%.
totally.
100%.
I honestly can't see a world where GTA 6 messes up. Like, I know I'm kind of jinxing myself here, but like like, I don't know, the old writers of Red Dead 2, like Michael Unsworth and Dan Houser, like they did write GTA 6. Like, Michael Unsworth only left recently, and like it's in his LinkedIn that he worked on GTA 6. So it's like it's the same writers. So I don't see how it could mess up.
I don't see any way that GTA 6 could mess up. And I don't think it's possible. It's got to be
Totally.
something really catastrophic to happen, like where like the game is unplayable or something like that for it to be awful.
100%.
I don't know.
For the game to be unplayable, it must be a technical thing where you physically can't load into the game.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the only way that they could have a cock up. In this release cycle, because like either way there will be a load of people that don't like GTA 6 because
Well, some people just don't like things for the sake of it.
And also when you reach such a big audience, I know people that don't like GTA 5 and that's fine, but all they need is to make 50% of people happy with the game, like not over the moon happy, just like, oh, that's a good game, and already they've destroyed half the market, because there's a lot of games out there where there's just as many people that love it as hate it. And I think Cyberpunk 2077 is the same thing. There's a lot of people that actively dislike the game, and for me, like I'd say that I did fall into that camp because I got the game when it launched and it was unplayable. Obviously they fixed a load of issues and all of that.
Oh yeah, you got it on PS4, didn't you?
Yeah,
that's what you were playing. Oh dude, that sucks. Like, that actually sucks. I hear it's really good on the PS4 now though.
Yeah, like they fixed all the issues, but it's that lasting impression. It's like, I remember the frustration of trying to get through the first like 2 hours of the game and things not working, and like interaction menus just not working.
It's just an awful
I was in the same boat, got it on launch, had to play it a year later. Yeah,
and I feel like we're in that situation now where the only way Rockstar can fail is if they release a game that is just so buggy it doesn't work. And I don't see them doing that because they're not scared to delay a game. I mean, it's Rockstar. They delay. If they go near a game or sniff on it, it will be delayed. Like,
really though.
I'd rather GTA 6 get pushed back another year and come out being perfect.
100%.
But also as well, when there's bugs and glitches, they're never serious. I mean, sometimes they are, but like for the most part, they're just funny.
Well, you think about RDR. You think about RDR 2. Like, how many bugs does that game really have? Like, maybe some minor ones here and there, but nothing like really game breaking. And that world's so massive. Like, that's crazy.
No, in my time playing Red Dead 2, I've never encountered game breaking bugs. Like,
yeah, me either.
No.
Yeah.
No, and I think a big part of that is as well is like, you know, one of the biggest questions I've been getting recently is like, how far a Rockstar into the game development process? And I think the game was probably finished 6 months ago. They're probably just trying to break the game. Like,
you're edging me right now.
On the GTA 6 O'Clock podcast, they had Ben Hinchliffe on there, and he was a former developer at Rockstar, and I don't mean he worked there 10 years ago. He worked on GTA 6. He was there during that cycle of the game being made. And one of the things he said is that like that they have to spend so much time trying to break the game. They have to think, how could a player get around this mission, and how can a player like try and disrupt the mechanics of the game? So they have to spend sometimes years working on that to make sure that every single outcome and alternative of that mission has been thought of, to the point where there isn't a plot hole where someone walks away from a mission and they're able to do something that they shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's the phase they're in now. And when you think a game the size of GTA 6, you have to make sure that every single texture in the ground, like, you can't fall through it. You can't break the game. You can't accidentally go through a wall. Like, every single building, model, texture, everything has to be thought out, especially when you're thinking about all these interiors.
Yeah.
No wonder why it's taking so long. Literally.
Yeah.
With all that polish, I'm kind of wondering, like, if in the missions they're also going to make it a little bit more, like, you know, open for the player to kind of, you know, decide what to do. Actually, because you, Cyber, you were saying that you played Vice City. You love Vice City. Well,
Yeah.
There's a mission in Vice City where you're supposed to intercept a few military guys and steal a tank. I don't know if you remember that one, but
Yep.
you can
Oh, yeah.
run right up to them and steal the tank, but you can also wait for them to drive, and then one of the guys will be like, "All right, guys, stop the vehicles. Let's grab a donut," and then you can run and steal it while they're distracted. And I think that level of game design is so cool, and I think that Rockstar could totally go that direction again.
Yeah, and I mean, a good example that Ben Hinchliffe used was in Red Dead Redemption 2. You're supposed to hijack a wagon. Someone's in the back of a wagon. You're supposed to steal the wagon off them. But if you don't steal the wagon, it ends up going to a house. And at that house, there's like a shootout and you have to steal the wagon there. So they thought of the fact that maybe you'll just follow it and you won't try and hijack it on the road. So they think of all of these different things and they build whole settlements, towns and villages because on the off chance that 0.1% of players won't actually do the mission the way that you're supposed to, which is just such a unique way of looking at games.